This year's winner is a scenic ranch with a great history located southeast of Amarillo, Texas. So let's take a trip to the 2006 AQHA Bayer Best Remuda Award winner, the Tule Ranch. East and south of Amarillo, Texas is one of the most unique sites in America. That's where the prairie dog town fork of the Red River has taken its time heading south, slowly carving out what is considered the second largest canyon in the West, the Palo Duro Canyon. It's where prehistoric tribes camped and traveled, where Native Americans hunted the mesas for bison, where Coronado's expedition discovered the beauty of the New World, and where Charles Goodnight settled and started the first commercial ranch. It's also where you can find the best Remuda of American quarter horses.
My granddad came here in the 50s with a friend to actually look at this ranch. And anyway, the friend went and looked at the edge of the canyons there and said it was too rough for him. And my granddad asked him if it was all right with him, he might come back and look. And so that was his first initial purchase, was this Tule Ranch headquarters. And he and then my dad have added to it over the years.
Over the years, the ranch has grown to over 160,000 acres, on top of and down into the canyon. The unique landscape provides a combination of safety and challenges for the Cogdell family that ranches here.
Like where we live actually is on the plains. It's flat and level and pretty easy. Then you can go over to the edge of the Cap and it gets drastic in a hurry. I think it's anywhere from 800 to 1,000 foot drop to the riverbed, and it does it in a hurry too. And it's pretty diverse country, which it makes for good cow country, especially in the winter. A lot of protection, and this country on the plains is good in the summer. We kind of have the best of both worlds.
That must have been what D.M. Cogdell thought when he purchased 27,000 acres back in 1954. He moved his cattle operation from Snyder, Texas during the drought that year and began to build his Remuda.
My granddad went to the King Ranch in the 50s, and he bought 10 mares and a stud by Wimpy, and that was kind of the start of it. And then that same year or the next year, he went to the Wagner's and bought a Pretty Buck stud, and then he went to the Hankins and bought a daughter of King, and that was kind of the basis for our program.
DM's son Billy took over after that and built the Remuda with cutting horses, his passion. His time in the saddle, however, was cut short by polio.
Well, we've been blessed. My dad was fortunate. He actually won the fraternity 3 times, which is, I don't think anybody else has done anything to do with the horse we owed to my dad. It was one of his passions. We've carried on that tradition. We enjoy them too.
Still able to manage the ranch, often out of his pickup truck, Billy taught his 4 children and their children how to ride, the love of the ranching lifestyle, and the value of family.
It was real important to my dad that we get along as a family, and so we all sat down a couple of years, I guess, before he passed away and started, talking about, which he was very active in the ranch until he died. Till the very end, he went out and drove the cake wagon, and sucking cattle in, and sat there while we branded and cut out cattle out of the herd, and so he was still a very active part.
Today, Penny, Rank, Dick, and Jim continue to add to the Remuda and continue to show in the cutting arena. 3,000 mother cows are moved back and forth during the seasons. And a few years ago, Dick found out the hard way why a good American quarter horse still makes a difference on the ranch.
One time I just got a 4-wheeler, anyway, my son was about 5 years old and went with me and we was checking water. And I got about 25 miles from home there and the tire went flat. Finally I propped it up on a board and found the hole and plugged it, and then I found a little screwdriver and took the valve stem out, and I proceeded to blow it up with my mouth like a balloon. I guess the moral of this story is one thing, I must be full of hot air, and the other thing is them horses are a dang sight more dependable than them four-wheelers. So, but you know, we know that we're just caretakers of this land, and my dad always said we need to try to leave it better than we found it.